there's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com with match number 1 with the Weapons Trader, the equipment, Mardu equipment, whatever you want to call this deck. This is definitely a mulligan hand. We have a no red source, and every one of our cards, except for the Scapheap Scrounger, requires the red. So we'll go ahead and ship this back. This one is actually pretty good. The Spire of Industry is going to fix very well. We can actually do Spire of Industry, Bone Straw, Toolcraft Exemplar. Yeah, this is a keepable hand. And we'll actually even keep the Inventor's Apprentice. It's a powerful card. And we have an Aether Hub that can also fix, so if we need to cast like a Weapons Trainer, we can do that. So I will start off with the best one drop, which is the Toolcraft Exemplar, and we will throw out the Bonesaw first, so that we can tap for a white. And we are good to go. So hopefully my opponent does not do anything on turn number 2. Walking Ballista would be very good here, just because it could kill the Toolcraft Exemplar, but Aether Hub makes me think it's not green-white tokens. This is going to be some sort of, Saheeli type deck, I'm sure. So the problem with the Toolcraft Exemplar attacking the Servant, I don't know if we want that to happen. We do have a Scapheap Scrounger, so we're pretty close to, and then also the Stonehaven Outfitter. I think that I don't attack in. So Inventor's Apprentice would have been a better drop, I guess, for the first turn. Yeah, I don't think I'm willing to trade with. So we can go Scapheap Scrounger because the next turn we can equip the Stonehaven. Maybe I do just make the trade. We have to push through. Yeah, I believe I have to push through. This is also fixing my opponent's. Alright, so we made the right play. Our opponent does need the Servant. So we will just run out the Scapheap Scrounger. So a good start. We have 6 power on board on turn 2. But the Servant he might actually just have the Felidar right now. And we could just get, okay, so Bristling Hydra. So this is just the old school energy deck. Which, this is about 50-50. Sometimes this deck can, if it has its pump, like if he's got the double strike pump, we will lose. But there's another hub. I think the right play here, I could put out 2 Inventor's Apprentices and equip on the Scapheap Scrounger and attack in. Because we don't want to attack in, he's going to use the energy to make it on the Bristling Hydra. Is that going to be more damage? With the 2 Inventor's Apprentice. The other option is I just go Stonehaven and equip, and then attack in. And that's also a pretty good play, because it will be a 4-5, it will be 12. I actually think that running into like, yeah, because that will allow us to draw into a Reckless Bushwhacker. I think this is the better play, just slightly. So we'll go ahead and attack in with the Scapheap. It should bring down to a 12. And we can start chump blocking with Inventor's Apprentices if he wants to trade damage with Scapheap. So our opponent has a ton of mana. It's a Long Tusk Cub, which is actually a pretty good card against us. He's going to come with the Bristling Hydra, see if he actually uses energy to do some damage. Nope, keeps his energy up. And like I said, there's a Reckless Bushwhacker. Does that actually, can we push through enough damage here? Our opponent does have 3 cards in hand. So if I go Apprentice and Bushwhacker, that is a ton of damage. We'll lose the Stonehaven Outfitter to the Longtusk Cub, and it'll put a bunch of energy on the Longtusk Cub. However, he'll have to block, the Servant will have to block the Scapheap Scrounger. And then take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. Yeah, 9 damage and lose the Servant, lose the energy. But there possibly is something in our opponent's hand. So I actually think we just hold back. I'm thinking I'm going to get Harness Lightning Tier on the Toolcraft. No, okay. We could attack in with both. Energy. Makes the Longtusk a 4. Nope, I think we just attack in here. That's actually a very good trade. I accept that. We have another Reckless Bushwhacker. So here I think we will just Apprentice and equip it. And now we have a 4/4. That is going to be miserable. I don't think I cast another Apprentice, or do I? I think I do. Even that keeps away the Reckless Bushwhacker. But if we draw into anything, that we can basically cast it. So even besides a 2-drop, we'd need a 1 or a 0 drop, and we can get a Reckless Bushwhacker. So Bristling Hydra would be the worst thing that comes out here. Pummeler is scary. Pummeler is extremely scary. Alright, so we have to go for it. Right? I can't hold anything up. Like the Built to Smashes. Tons of energy, though. I'm going to lose the Stonehaven. My opponent is at... Yeah, I don't think there's any alternative here. We just have to go for it. I could leave back a blocker, but with the Pummeler deck, this just gets out of hand. So I do have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 damage on board. So I believe you'd have to block with everything. But he leaves back a Bristling Hydra. So if he blocks these two, the 2 5s, you take 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, he does not have to attack with everything. So I think I'm just going to leave back a Reckless Bushwhacker or a Stonehaven Outfitter. He'd block there. So block, use an energy, keep it alive. Let's see here. So block, use an energy, keep it alive. Have 5 power on board. Block. And then take 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. So I think I need to keep back. Like this? I think this is the right play. Keep as much back. This does make him so he has more options. But if I can push through the Inventor's Apprentice, perfect. If that's the block, perfect, perfect. That means my opponent has to use like, oh no. So yeah, like a larger than life to keep it alive, but that's... Alright, so he's going to use some energy to keep that alive, and the Servant will die. So I lose 2, but push through 5 damage. I'm definitely okay with that. And my opponent did not use energy, so we might just be dead to the Electrostatic Pummeler combo. Yep. Double larger than life? Okay. Well, that's a shame. Alright, we'll go on to the sideboard. This is where Wrangle really comes into play. Ride Down's okay. Thalia Heretic Healer is also okay. Shock is actually decent. Shock can take care of the majority of the cards in the deck, and can also be used to the face. So I think we'll take out a 1 of the Sram. The Kari Zev is actually quite weak in this matchup because a lot of them can just block the monkey token and survive. This is also, I think, a Reckless Bushwhacker can come down to a 2 of, and the Inventor's Goggles can come out. So I think that's the big change I'd make. Ride Down's okay. Ride Down's actually pretty good. I think we should bring in a number of Ride Downs. Possibly just take out all of the Srams or Stonehaven Outfitters, go less the equipment route. That's usually what I like to do when I bring in more cards. But how well is Captain's Claw actually work? I'm going to take out 1 Captain's Claw in this matchup. I think actually Captain's Claws are a little bit weak. So Sram could come out completely if I'm taking out 2 Captain's Claws. And that way we can bring back in a Ride Down and have more game versus our opponent. So our opponent can't play a defensive route if we Ride Down it. So again, this matchup's pretty 50-50. It's whoever can get the more busted draw. This is definitely keepable hand. We have Ride Down. We have a Shock. We have a Weapons Trainer. We do need to get that equipment. But this hand has a lot of potential. We don't have the artifact for the Spire, but that's fine. No biggie. We'll start with the Stonehaven Outfitter. So Bonesaw would be the best thing we could draw into. And no green source. That's usually leading with a green and a tune is the way that this deck wants to go. We have another Shock. That's pretty good. And our opponent does have a Shock as well. So that's why he led with the Mountain. So see if the... Yep, we'll take Brawler. I am just going to Shock it main phase just because the Blossoming Defense is a real thing. Unless I can get another red source here. Ooh, geez. I think I just have to Shock. Which we're playing from behind now, which is not what you want to be doing. But with these type of decks too, when they run so many Large and Lice and Uncaged Fury, that could be his only creature in hand. Especially with Shocks and Harness Lightnings. There's a Tune. And another... Okay, a Servant of the Conduit. I don't care about shocking the Servant. We get a Plane, so... Here we can go with just Weapons Trainer. Or we'll just put out a Toolcraft Exemplar, I think is the right play. But we still need that Artifact. Which is a ton of our cards in our deck are going to be an Artifact. Hydra would be a very, very tough thing for us to beat. Yeah, I actually think I shock this. See if he wants to use a... Nope. There's a Pummeler. And tons of energy. So Stonehaven Outfitter is not what I want. I think what we just do is we just put out a Weapons Trainer. So if he's got the larger than life combo again, we just die. And that's that. Alright, no. Alright, Artifact. Okay, so that's a pretty bad... I'm going to attack first with the Weapons Trainer. See if my opponent has another shock. Could just be flooded. Well, if we get an artifact, we are going to be in great shape. But our opponent only needs to do one spell, basically, and we're dead. Alright, we're getting lucky. Very lucky. So, come on, Bonesaw. Scapheap Scrounger will do it. So... we get a Scrounger. Is there a point to holding back? I don't think so. Because what could he... well, I think we need to hold one back, a Weapons Trainer. Because even a Blossoming Defense could be lethal. 3, it goes up to... it's going to kill off the Scrap Heap, possibly? Kills off a Weapons Trainer. Alright, down to 14. Alright, getting very lucky with the flood. Spire of Vantage kind of sucks because it's... natural state. Sure. Guess I should have floated a mana there. That was my bad. See if he wants to use energy. Perfect. Alright, so we'll ride down it. And now we're in great shape. As our opponent needs to top deck into a creature and has no cards in hand, so I feel ahead. Other than we still don't have that artifact. Other than we can Reckless Bushwhacker next turn. Yeah, no card here. I think it's just... I think we'll push through the damage. So we got extremely lucky that our opponent flooded out. We have a Bonesaw here too. That's a powerful card. And just bring back the Scrap Heap. And we'll Bushwhacker. And alright. On to the sideboard. I'm not sure if my shock strategy is actually the way to go. If we just rather... no, I still think that's fine. The Thalia actually gets interesting in this one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna bring in a Thalia, take out a Reckless Bushwhacker. We'll keep everything as is. Yeah, Wrangle. Maybe Wrangle's not what I want. I can take a Bristling Hydra if he doesn't have any energy. And we can take like a Long Tusk Cub that has... no, I'm actually going to bring in the Inventors. Goggles. Keeps my stuff protected against shocks. And gives us another artifact. We needed that equipment out. Can't keep this hand, unfortunately. I mean, we actually do have a Toolcraft Exemplar. This is do you know what? I think this is actually keepable with the one lander. We do need to draw into another red source as soon as possible, but we have so many outs here. And I think I'll just lead off with the Inventor's Goggles, just to protect my Toolcraft Exemplar against a shock. Or we could just go Inspect, or... Oh, perfect. See, now it's a beautiful hand. I am going to just go with the Goggles. And then next turn we will hook up the Toolcraft Exemplar, or probably Inventor's Apprentice, to the Goggles. And there's a Servant. 5 energy already generated. Captain's Claw is actually be great. Now we need something to do with our equipments. So at this point, I think it's just going to be Apprentice. And just an Inspector. That gives us some padding against Fragmentize. We have a 3/5 that's actually really good. It'd be good to actually draw into a land next turn. I get Captain's Claw. But another Attune. Opponent has the energy. We have to worry about that large in life. We got off to kind of a slow start. But it doesn't seem like our opponent has much of anything in hand either. So, there's the Weapons Trainer. We'll go ahead and throw the Weapons Trainer out. And I do have to worry about a shock here, so I'm actually just going to attack in with the Apprentice. Because the Weapons Trainer gets shocked, then the Inspector would have... Really? So you have to spend a ton of energy on the Apprentice. Yeah, that's acceptable. And then we can Toolcraft Exemplar. So see if another Attune. Well, energy is not a concern. But my opponent is flooding out again. Concealed Courtyard is perfect because it allows for the Toolcraft Exemplar. I'm going to hook up the Inventor's Goggles. And then we'll attack in with both. So this way, if he shocks down my Weapons Trainer, I can shock down his Servant. That's good. We get in for 5. And we'll go Scapheap Scrounger here. So we are definitely in the driver's seat. Our opponent's down to a 15, which is easily lethal range. We have a shock and a Captain's Claw. And that's just kind of the problem with this deck. It's got a low creature count because of all the pump spells. And so, I don't know if that's keepable. It's just a Servant. There's many ways to build the energy decks. Some are without pump spells. Some even go into like Planeswalkers, 4-color type decks. And this one seems to be the all-out pummeler strategy. Another land here is actually relevant because it gives us the ability to shock. And our opponent will just scoop it up. So keeps 2 kind of loose hands with too many lands and gets punished for it. So we start off 1-0. We'll go on to the next match. This has been Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching.